All right, everybody, we are now going out to Lowell, Massachusetts, getting an update on a missing boy from yesterday, the investigation. Let's listen right here on Live Now from Fox.
Indicating that 3-year-old Harry Condy, who had been staying at a house on Freda Lane in Lowell and had been seen just a short time before in the backyard of that home, could not be located by the people who were caring for him. Lowell police responded. Within a very short period of time, many other agencies and assets joined them, and a search was conducted, an extensive search of that area. The police were able to confirm that a neighbor had seen little Harry at just about 9:15. He was in the basement of his home. When he came back, after having seen him outside and did not see him, he inquired as to where he had gone. That's what triggered people realizing that he was no longer in the vicinity of the house, and that call was made to Lowell police. That search continued till about 10 o'clock last night, resumed early this morning. Tragically, at about 10 after 1 this afternoon, Harry's body was located in a pond adjacent to Rowley's Tree Farm. That pond is located about 650 feet straight from the house if you traveled in that direction. I want to be clear that we have no idea how Harry came to reach that pond, and where he might have been or how long it might have taken him to reach that pond. His body was found close to shore in about 5 feet of water. He was clothed in the clothes he had last been seen in, and there was no indication of external trauma. That pond was searched at about 11 o'clock yesterday morning by Lowell Fire Department. Obviously, Harry was not located in that area. And I want to again emphasize, we do not know where he was from the time he went missing until he was located in the pond today, or where he may have been walking. If many of you have been down in that area, you know it's a very rugged, some very rugged terrain there. The approximate full area which was searched was about 4.7 square miles. And it was searched using a variety of assets which Superintendent Goldner will speak to: horses, dogs, dirt bikes, a number of types of vehicles we used to cover that terrain. This is obviously every parent's worst nightmare. A child who disappears for a very short period of time, the excruciating hours of the search, and then the recovery of his body. This is clearly not the result that anyone over these many hours of search would have anticipated or wanted to have occurred. We are incredibly grateful to everyone who assisted in this search, to everybody who provided support for the searchers, and obviously our thoughts and hearts are with the family who lost this child. We have several other speakers that will address you briefly, and then we'll come back and take a few of your questions. Superintendent Goldner. Lowell.
Thank you, Madam District Attorney. My name is Barry Goldner, and I'm the interim superintendent for the city of Lowell. Thank you all for coming. Our thoughts and prayers on behalf of the Lowell Police Department and the city of Lowell go out to the family on this tragic day. I would like to say that the outpouring of support from the community, from the city of Lowell, from our partners at City Hall, our Mayor, Sakari Chow, our manager, Tom Golden is here, as well as our counselors. John Leahy is here as well. The support from the neighborhood, from the parishioners at the church here, they continue to help. There was outpouring from nurses. Everyone wanted to help in the search. It was an amazing outpouring of support for everyone, and we appreciate that. And again, on behalf of the police department and the city, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Scott Nix. I'm one of the control chiefs for the NEMLEC organization. Our condolences go out to the family, as well as the Lowell community and everybody that assisted today, to include all the first responders and other officials. We very much appreciate it. There was over a couple of hundred first responders for today in collaboration with federal, state, and local authorities in order to try to locate Harry with unfortunate circumstances. As the district attorney indicated, about 4.7 square miles were conducted over and over, duplicating efforts from yesterday and today to just make sure we're recovering every parcel that we could with the best information we had. But again, we appreciate the efforts of everybody and our condolences. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Colonel Scott Warmington. I'm the Deputy Superintendent of the Massachusetts State Police. On behalf of Colonel Christopher Mason, we'd like to thank the men and women of the Massachusetts State Police, our law enforcement partners, and the hundreds of people who have searched tirelessly over the last 2 days on land, by air, and in the water to bring Harry home. Our thoughts are with the family.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Joe Bonavolanta, and I'm the Special Agent in charge of the FBI Boston Division. And whenever there is a missing child, it's an all-hands-on-deck affair throughout local, state, and federal law enforcement. And that was the case over the last 30-plus hours. From the FBI's standpoint, immediately upon request, we produced resources from our Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, as well as several other technical assets and resources and intelligence and investigative assistance as well. Obviously, there was a tragic outcome here, and on behalf of the FBI Boston Division, I would just like to offer our heartfelt condolences to Harry's family. Thank you.
We'll take a few questions. We don't know where he went when he left the house. I want to emphasize that. So even though the pond is located on a straight line from the house, we don't know where he went or where he may have traveled or what time he might have arrived back by that pond area. We just don't know that.
But if you didn't find him yesterday when you were searching,
right.
How did you find him today?
They were researching. As the colonel just indicated, places were being searched again because we know that he was likely on the move through some part of the time that he was missing. So we were checking and rechecking to see if he might have gone to a place that we had already searched. He wasn't there, but he might have then been in a place. They were rechecking all of those places this morning.
Can you explain how he left the house? He was being watched by the babysitter, and the babysitter lost sight of him?
Apparently he was outside. At some point he was seen outside by the neighbor, and at some point then the neighbor noticed he wasn't there and made inquiry as to where he had gone. And that seems to have been what sounded the alert that he had wandered off.
Would the babysitter face any charges?
It's too soon in the investigation to know any of that.
Can you talk about the effort from the community all night last night and today? This was like a huge weight on this neighborhood, hundreds of officers, neighbors. Talk about just how significant.
You know, as I said before, I think this is every parent's worst nightmare. Everybody who's ever had a toddler is in terror of that toddler wandering off. And really, I think taking that to heart, so many people came out last night either to offer to help in the search, to offer support to the folks who were searching in the form of food and water. Very gracious in terms of we were going through people's yards, searching their houses, their sheds, their cars, any place that a little person could be hiding. People were incredibly gracious and responsive. The church that we're here at, folks from this church, made and served food for people, provided help for people all night.
Was this dive team down in the pond that finally located him?
Yes, the state police divers were in there this morning and they located him.
And so is it easy to sort of miss him one day, but then you find him the next day? Anything could happen?
I suppose anything is possible, but he wasn't located there yesterday, very shortly. So the divers the Lowell Fire Department was in that pond around 11 o'clock yesterday, which was pretty close after he went missing. But then obviously he was gone for a very long time, and we don't know where he was.
Well, was just taking a second opportunity to search that pond. It wasn't something somebody noticed,
Right.
like a rank or anything like that.
Many places were searched and researched because as he was moving, the searchers were moving, and they were checking and rechecking to make sure He hadn't gone into any of the sheds, the cars, anything that was outside.
Were there footprints? Some of the volunteers said they were told
There was discussion about a footprint. There were obviously many people in there. Many people, some the parents of little people, came to help. So there probably were many footprints out there.
Is it still believed that he was wandering around, or is there an investigation into what was happening in that unaccounted time, possibility for abduction or anything like that?
We were considering all of those options, and we will continue to do so as the investigation moves forward. Right now, we don't have any information as to where he went during that period of time, or what path he might have been traveling.
Do you know how big of the pond was, like its size, length? You said it was 5 feet deep.
No, he was in about 5 feet of water.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Now, nothing appears to be sinister about what happened in terms of how we got away, how we ended up there. Nothing, no foul play.
Obviously, it's very early in the investigation, and to this point, all of our efforts have been focused on locating him. In the days ahead, we will obviously be looking at all of those things.
But it's still your understanding they had mentioned this morning at a press conference that he literally opened the front door and walked out.
Yes. Yes.
Just away from the eyes and
Yes. Yes. All right.
So what are the next steps, Ryan? You mentioned it's too early to talk about potential criminal charges for the babysitter. What happens today and tomorrow?
We'll continue to have conversations. Obviously, we'll be awaiting information from the medical examiner, although, as I indicated, there was no sign of external trauma. He was clothed in the clothing that he was last seen in. We'll continue to gather information. We will shift our focus from finding him to finding out what happened. Thank you. I'm sorry? I'm not certain if they've been up there yet. I'm sorry, did you have a question?
Yesterday, did the canvas dogs ever get a scent yesterday?
My understanding is there were lots of things that they were following at different points. Obviously and tragically, that wasn't successful until this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone who's helped out, police officers, police people. Thank you very much, man.
A very sad update there in Lowell, Massachusetts there after a community search was underway for this missing 3-year-old boy just yesterday, and today authorities finding the body there of the 3-year-old in a pond about 5 feet of water. Let's continue right here our coverage at that news conference that we just watched live here on Live Now from Fox. Let's go out to Fox News' Molly Line joining us here with the details. And yeah, a very sad moment for this community that is such a tight-knit community.
Absolutely. This is not the outcome that anyone had hoped for or even expected when this young boy went missing. Reported missing at 9:30 yesterday morning. He had last been seen by a neighbor at 9:15, so a 15-minute window. And we were told here by law enforcement officials that the response time to the neighborhood here in Lowell, Massachusetts, to look for little 3-year-old Harry was very, very swift. And the effort was expansive. There were horses and bikes and ATVs and helicopters and a dive team and canine units and more than 200 law enforcement personnel involved scouring the woods, sheds, backyards, swimming pools, nearby waterways. The area where Harry was, where he had been at a babysitter's home, is very close to a large state forest. It's very close to a lot of swampy land. And as we learned, tragically, it's also very close to a pond on a nearby farm. And that is ultimately where authorities say the 3-year-old Harry's body was found. That happened today, this afternoon, so he had been missing for more than 24 hours before he was located. They say that pond, though, was searched yesterday morning. A dive team involved in that, looking deep into those waters. He was not found in that pond at roughly 11 o'clock yesterday morning when they searched it, but unfortunately he was found today there in that water. So a very sad end to a very expansive search, and our hearts go out to that family, and these law officers have expressed that same thing. Mike?
Yeah, absolutely there. And I thought it was interesting, too, that talking about at the end of that news conference, talking about while the search is over, now the next phase of the investigation begins just to see how that boy might have got out.
Yeah, they're still in the information gathering phase as far as if potentially there would or wouldn't be criminal charges in this case. We know that a neighbor had spotted the child in the yard at 9:15, and at 9:30 the 911 call was made, and it was described to us by law enforcement officials earlier in the day that it was clear that people came rushing out of the home looking for little Harry, that neighbors were involved, hunting all over, and that the police were called very swiftly after the babysitter had realized that he had been out of sight. So there was an expansive and swift response from law enforcement here to the area, but unfortunately not an outcome that anyone would want or hope for.
Now, parents' worst nightmare right there. Molly Line with Fox News Channel. We appreciate your insight there live at the news conference that just wrapped up right here for us on Live Now from Fox. We appreciate it.
Thank you.